Hello everyone. Today we're going to explore the passive form. Before starting, let's ask which is the standard active sentence order. You know this acronym SWOT that stands for subject, verb, object, manner, place and time. What do we mean by manner? Complemento di modo, place, complemento di luogo, time, complemento di tempo. You know that time can be at the end of the sentence or at the beginning. What happens in the passive form? In the passive form, the object becomes the subject of the sentence. The verb is expressed through be plus past participle. The subject becomes complemento d'agente, by plus agent. It is important when changing from the active to the passive form to use the appropriate tense and form of the verb to be plus the past participle of the verb. Before looking at examples, let's consider when do we use the passive. First of all, we use the passive when we are more interested in the action than who or what does the action. Example, the city was destroyed in 1755. We are interested in the action of the destruction of the city. We don't care about who or what destroyed the city. Second case is when we don't know who exactly does the action. Many objects have been stolen. So once again, we are interested in the action of the objects being stolen, and we don't know who exactly stole the objects. We use the passive when it is obvious or understood who did the action. Example, the patient was cured. It is obvious that the patient was cured by the doctor. Other cases, we use the passive when there is a description of the procedure in scientific experiments. For example, then the biscuits are packed into containers. This is a sentence which we could find in a procedure of creating biscuits. Another use, when we give orders or instructions. For example, parking is not allowed in this road. And let's mention also the Italian impersonal form of si. For example, English is not spoken here. Let's consider how do we ask questions in the passive form. First of all, when we create a question form in the passive, we have to put the first auxiliary verb before the subject. Example, is the news being given on TV? For questions starting with who or what, you cannot omit by. Who was the telephone invented by? Let's take a look at the main verbal tenses and their transformations in the passive form. Present simple, active form, they give warnings. Passive form, warnings are given. Present perfect or past perfect, active, the government has built the hospital. The hospital has or had been built by the government. Present or past continuous, active, millions of people are or were watching the news. Passive, the news is or was being watched by millions of people. Past simple, active form, they didn't understand flu epidemics in the Middle Ages. Passive form, in the Middle Ages, flu epidemics weren't understood. Future, active form, people will use a new type of energy in the future. Passive, New types of energy will be used in the future by people. Let's close our lesson on passive mentioning verbs with two objects. There are some verbs which are followed by two objects. For example, bring, buy, give, lend, offer, owe, pay, promise, refuse, send, show, teach, tell. The objects can be a thing and a person. In this case, two different passive sentences are possible. The active is they told me the truth, so we have the verb tell. The passive form can be I was told the truth or the truth was told to me. Other examples. They give residents an epidemic alert. An epidemic alert is given to residents. Or residents are given an epidemic alert. This structure is more common, so you can see that complemento di termine becomes the subject of the sentence. They sent me flowers. In the active form, flowers were sent to me, or I was sent flowers, which is more common. So in this case, they sent me flowers. Me is the direct object in English, becomes the subject of the sentence. I was sent the flowers, which is a more common structure. So that's enough for now. Let's see next call.